Okay guys, well, we're back here. So the 50 Chev pickup, we got her all finished, and we got done what he wanted done. He wanted the floors done and the front body mounts and inner kick panels. So I'll show you here what we got going on. Now he wanted me to make it look like I hadn't been in here and hadn't touched anything. He wanted it to look a little dirty. I don't know how to explain it. He just wants the truck to look original, like it's been untouched. Now, I mean, you know, that's he didn't care if it showed a little bit, but you can see the kick panel over there, and I think it looks good. We didn't get carried away. Now, originally, he's mounted the master cylinder up under the firewall. This is where the master would have been. He had a tin plate just screwed over top of the floor, so I put the plate back on it, just like it was. If you look carefully, there's a hole over there in the floorboard. That's a factory hole, and I left that alone. He's not using it, but I didn't weld it up. I left it because that's how he wanted it. He basically, it's just like it would have been. So I'll come around the other side here and you can get a better look. Even down in here you can see his truck is, this is about the only rust left on this truck actually. It's rusted down in here, so I'll have a talk with him. Maybe he'll want to bring it back next year and take care of that. These trucks tend not to rust. When they're bigger trucks like this, the cabs are mounted higher, they seem to be more solid. You know, the doors are all solid, everything, because they're up off the ground a bit more, right? I mean, you can't even tell we had this fender off. I put his welting back in here that was in there. All the surface rust that was in behind, I cleaned up the backside lip of the fender and sprayed that, but all the surface rust that was here and in here that's visible, I left it just like he asked. He wanted that left alone, and the key thing here is you do what the customer asks. On this side, he never had the welting in there, so he didn't put any in. Now, if you look very carefully, you can see there's a little different shade of green here because it was rusted up in here. So I had to weld a piece in. Then I tried to match it the best we could, and we basically left it alone, and it's all solid throughout. Well, not solid, but it's all good throughout there. I didn't touch anything that he asked. But the good news is that in behind here, there's no rust. So any rust that was there, we did take care of. So here's a better view of the driver's side, obviously. We can get up over there. You can see the passenger side. His speaker wires just had duct tape holding them on the floor. I just put them back just like they were. Fresh piece of duct tape, and away you go. So that's it. That is all of it. She is done. She's over with, and he's coming to pick her up. He's coming to pick her up tomorrow, and he'll be a happy camper. And on the road he goes again. So any of you guys out there that are into these trucks, there you go. These trucks seem to be everywhere. I swear to God, they're still mass producing them out there somewhere. I think there's still a factory for them, because every time you turn around you see these trucks just everywhere. Not that that's a bad thing, but they're just everywhere. If you're looking for an old truck to do up and you want to source, if you're looking for something that's easy to source parts out for, just buy one of these trucks. You can pretty much buy everything. I think you can even buy a new cab. You can pretty much buy everything you want. So the problem is though is that there's so many of these trucks, everybody's got them. They're just so popular that, you know, they're a cool looking truck, don't get me wrong, but they're just everywhere. But I like the look he's going for on this truck. I think it's pretty cool. He's always rolling down the highway here with the thing loaded with steel. He's up and down the highway constantly all the time, like he works this truck. This truck isn't just sitting around in his driveway with like 100 pounds on the back. He puts thousands of pounds on the back of this thing, and he works it. I can't believe this truck when I see it going down the road, what it's hauling. Okay guys, well we'll take a step in the shop and we'll show you what's up in there. Back here at the shop. So my buddy Corey, he just picked up this little 30 Model A Roadster. Now it's not originally a Roadster, someone's made it into a Roadster, but they did a fine job of it. I think the guy I think he's middle-aged, and he plays around with these cars, and he kind of builds them in his backyard and has some fun with them, then he sells them. I mean, he's got the 32 grill shell in there. It's running a 350 motor with a 350 tranny and a Maverick 8-inch rear end in the back. The top does not fold down, it looks like it, but it's removable. Couple clips in the back, 4 wing nuts, and away you go. You lift the top off, doesn't weigh much. It's on the stock Model A frame that's been boxed, and it had some added cross members to it that Corey brought in to us because the door handle on the passenger side was giving a little grief. Alternator belt was squeaking, coils were rubbing a little bit on the back. Just finicky little maintenance stuff he brought it in for us to do. Gas pedal one that shortened up so he could stretch his leg out a bit more in there, because these cars are pretty cramped. Anyone that's got one knows they're kind of cramped. So we kind of did that. Now I know the first thing that people are looking at, which are going to knock here as soon as they see this video, they're going to say, oh my god, look at the front end the guy put in there. Yes, he put a Mustang 2 front end in there. And Mustang 2 front ends probably are a little better ride. Well, I shouldn't say a little better. I've ridden in ones of Mustang 2s and ones of axles, and I think the Mustang 2 is a nicer ride, a little smoother. But granted, with that being said, this is more of something that you'd put on the car if it was full fendered than you would if it wasn't fendered. Now, I'm not knocking Corey's car in any means whatsoever. I think it's cool. It's a nice little hot rod. It's awesome. Corey didn't build it this way. He bought it this way. Corey is going to, he says this is a keeper for him. And I think probably this one is a keeper. He seems to like this car. He's having fun with it. So, you know, maybe later on down the road, Corey will change that. Maybe he'll put the dropped axle in there. The dropped axle just looks a hell of a lot cooler when you're running no fenders. But if you're going to throw a set of fenders on it, well, then you're okay with the Mustang too. It's kind of covered up because the fenders kind of swoop down and go over it anyway. So, regardless of what's in there, it's a fun car. Corey's having fun, and that's all that matters. It's got the 4-bar in the back with the coilovers in the back. Obviously, the gas tank is in the trunk, where where they normally are. This car was built some time ago. I don't know exactly when, but it's been around for a while. And the owner just decided to sell it, and Corey was there, and he liked it, and he got it. We'll get around. We'll open the door up for you. Obviously, there's no handles there. It's a Roadster. There's no windows. See this? You just reach in. This is what I mean. Like, see here? Like, this is all. It must have been a coupe or something that somebody cut down and made into a Roadster. But that's all cool. I like the steering wheel. Anyone out there know what that steering wheel is? Let me know, because I don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool looking. I should know. Maybe it's just an aftermarket. But I just like the look of it. I like how it goes in deep, and I like this ring and everything. I like that. But that's a fun little car. Corey's enjoying it. He's had it for a few weeks now. We got her in the shop overnight. Going to keep her. Cleaned up most of it today that we had to do. Just a couple little things to finish up tomorrow. Doors closed nice on it. It's got the wide white radials on there. Corey's got a few plans for it in the future. And that's good. So that's our latest little project just for a day or so. And of course you can see in the background over here now, we got jet skis. I want to show you guys something on this. Actually here, let me turn around and talk to you for a minute. Steve up there at Cultus Lake, he's got these jet skis that he rents out. I think he says he's got like 14 of them or something like that. And he's got 5 or 6 boats that he rents out too. And it's summertime now. Kids are out of school and adults are camping. They take a lot of time off work. And it's his busy season. Obviously, you don't do it. He gets like 4 months out of the year, I would imagine. Maybe yeah, that's about it, right? So anyway, it's his busy time, and like I told you a few videos back, he got hold of me and asked me if I would help him repair some of these once in a while. And it seems to be a continuous thing. It seems like there's always 2 in here every week. It seems that way anyway. I have to give Steve the biggest thumbs up around. I could never do the business that he does. Granted, there's probably good money in it, because I mean, you rent these things, renting jet skis and boats, but mind you, got all the overhead too, so I shouldn't say there's good money, but I'm sure you do all right at it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'll give you a few reasons why I couldn't do it. Number 1, I'm a hothead. Number 2, I'm an extreme hothead. Number 3, I'm just fucking crazy and I'm a hothead. My fuse is lit very quick. I get pissed off very quick. And when I get pissed off, you got to look out. I don't understand how this guy can control his temper. You got to see this. This is a prime example. I got to show you this. This is 2 young punks, 2 younger guys in their 20s, fucking around on jet skis out in the lake, that run into one another, and how they can do that, I don't know, because not like Cultus Lake is a small lake. For you viewers out there, look up Cultus Lake. It's a beautiful lake. It's an awesome place to come if anyone's coming up here. How the fuck you can run into one another, I don't know. The guy came back and said, I don't know, we were just horsing around out in the water and I ran into him. So anyway, take a look at this. Here's the first one. The nose, obviously, because this is the one that's going to hit the one over there. Now, yes, we've got the fiberglass hair here, the cloth, whatever, and the resin, and we've got the gel coat and all that. Actually, here's one of the gel coats right here. Here's one of the gel coats is sitting right here. This is the one, yeah, that's one of them. Then we got a gel coat that's a filler too. Anyway, okay, so that guy there. Now, Steve just went and bought this one used, but it had low kilometers on it. This one I'm about to show you, and this was its first weekend out. Look at this. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're out on a lake. You guys got to look it up. You're out on a lake that's massive. It ain't a small lake. Like, it's huge. And now the whole lake, you're out there riding around with your buddy, and you ram him from the side? Like, look at the damage here. This plastic piece is busted, which broke the lens up top for the gauges that's up there. You know, I mean, look at this. It's right through here. It's even inside the hull. It's cracked through the hull because it's double layered. It's broken in there. Look at the brakes. What the fuck was this moron doing? What, was he out there on his cell phone texting somebody? That wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. He probably all of a sudden had his fingers wet and his cell phone was going to fall out of his hand, but instead of lose the cell phone and let it fall in the water, he probably ran into his buddy. That's easier to do because, hey, who gives a fuck? They're not our jet skis. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle this. I just could not believe. If I had guys doing this to me, and then they come back and you know, Steve says, well, I'm going to keep your damage deposit, obviously, which isn't even going to cover the repairs on this thing. The damage deposit, not even going to cover it. And they stand there and they argue, and you say, you can't do that. Well, you can't keep my damage deposit. What the fuck do you mean he can't keep your damage deposit? He should keep your damage deposit, and then he should grab you by the scruff of the back of your head, by your hair, and he should go out there and shove your fucking head in the hole that you created in the boat and drag you around the lake. Is what he should do. But that's what I would do. And then, of course, I'd go to jail, and that would be it. So that's why I don't run jet skis for a living. Instead, I build cars. And at least with cars, when they give me grief, I can hoot and holler at the cars, and the customers aren't around to see it. And then when the customers come and they say, how was my car on this payday? Well, you got a lot accomplished. I put a smile on my face and say, oh, it just went just went awesome, man. Not a grief in the world. Because that's what you got to do in this line of work. But I couldn't handle this. I could not handle this because there's a difference when you're working on a car and it's giving you grief, and you know you're out there yelling and hooting and hollering at it. You can't get the busted bolt or the bloody wrench slips and you bust your knuckles. That's one thing. But it's another thing to own a business. Another thing to own a business and have the bloody have people out there renting stuff off you and just destroying it. I mean, there's this. They don't care. People just don't. It's not theirs, so why do they care? I guess they don't think they're going to lose their damage deposit. I mean, I guess that means nothing to them. I guess money grows on trees. But anyway, I feel sorry for Steve out there. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about the two dickheads that here got in this accident. I guess they're the dickheads of the week. So, anyway, the boys up at Cultus Lake this weekend that ran into one another, you're dickheads. That's all I can tell you. And that's that. So anyway, that's besides the point. Who cares? Hey, thanks to all my viewers. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks to all you guys out there. Check out our website, like I always tell you, www.oldtimegarage.ca. Go from there. You go to Instagram, look at our pictures and all that kind of stuff that's up there. New t-shirts are on the way. And that's it. Remember, always good time at Old Time. We'll see you next time.